Coming up on The Bottom Line, we'll tell you why libraries in Montgomery County will continue to be a top priority. For the 5th year in a row, a Montgomery College professor has received a distinguished honor. We'll talk to him in our Facetime segment. And a program that trains citizens how they can help their community when disaster strikes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. There are many who predict that the digital age will wipe public bookshelves clean and end the centuries-old era of libraries. But here in Montgomery County, that's far from happening, with millions of dollars being spent each year for capital improvements to take our libraries into the future.
Our print collection is circulating more than our ebook collection. Do we need to have both? Yes. Do we have both? Yes. But I think it's not an either or at this point. And for those folks who say that books are going away in Montgomery County, it's wrong.
The capital improvements program currently under consideration by the council totals close to $88 million. The proposal includes money for the Silver Spring Library, as well as funds for a new library in Clarksburg.
Right now, we're looking at options. It's sitting in our fiscal year 20 budget for some of the facility planning so that we can create a design for that library. And so what we'd like to do is try and move that up, if possible, to a little bit earlier in the CIP years, understanding that the residents of Clarksburg really shouldn't have to wait that long for a library.
This CIP also addresses how the county will go about renovating libraries. In the future, rather than closing down a library for renovation, the county will perform refreshments that will upgrade facilities more quickly. This new plan will allow the county to update 17 libraries over the course of the CIP, as opposed to 2 libraries under the old method.
So this approach gets at modernizing our buildings sooner rather than later. The current model will call for renovation once a year and will mean that some libraries would not be modernized for at least 30 years. This calls for a faster, cleaner approach, and also it will allow us to keep our libraries closed for a shorter period of time.
The changing information environment and expectations of library users are forcing libraries to reassess their role in the digital age. Technology is changing how libraries operate, and the county will look at how the buildings are used.
What we're also really excited about is a lot of the technology enhancements that we're looking to do to our libraries, bringing them into the 21st century, making sure that we have hotspots, making sure that we have enough plugs for people that are bringing in tablets and laptop computers, but also reconfiguring our libraries as well.
Many of Dr. Greg Wall's students in his class at Montgomery College face obstacles to learning. Some of them aren't prepared for college-level classes. Some have learning disabilities, and he has even had a few students in his class who have been homeless. But Dr. Wall embraces the challenge to help his students overcome obstacles to find academic success in college. And his incredible dedication has earned him the honor of Maryland Professor of the Year. Dr. Wall gave us some insight to his philosophy in this FaceTime interview. So how long have you been teaching here?
I've been teaching here for 10 years. We good? My bread and butter is the developmental courses. When you're putting commas in, remember that they're weak. They can't separate sentences. We say developmental instead of remedial. We don't think we're remedying anything necessarily. It's more just kind of getting people up to speed. They've missed certain things for whatever reason. It's not that they have a deficiency in it, it's just they might not have ever had it. Or they have it and it needs to get kind of all the way up to speed.
It looked like you were working on basic sentence structure and that sort of thing.
Restructure the sentence.
Are they getting it? Are they able to pick this up?
Yes, they are able to pick it up. There's a couple barriers to picking it up. One, it doesn't restructure the sentence. One is not knowing how to do the work. So not knowing what it really takes to do exercises, apply them to your writing, to learn the skills the way you need to learn them. And the other thing is the skills themselves. They're also learning the skills. Like, what are we doing here? What are you doing here? How are you going to figure out how to learn this? What do you need from me? But what are you going to have to do that I can't do for you?
Does that surprise you if they graduated from a high school, or is this what we've been reading about? This is what happens. Some of these kids get a diploma and they are missing a few things.
It should surprise me every semester. It should surprise everybody every semester that, especially students who have gotten good grades all along, not being able to write complete sentences, not being able to put together a coherent essay. Now, that's not all the students, of course, but it would be ideal if no student graduating high school needed this kind of work when they entered college. Now, that said, I think that this is a really super important part of college, and I'm glad to be doing that work. If there's a mess that needs to be cleaned up, let's clean it up.
But you're almost like a mini social worker to an extent in this class, aren't you? Because some of these kids have different stories and different struggles, and you're kind of giving them advice about all of that along the way as well.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a social worker. Many of the classes that I've had, there is somebody who needs the kind of help that I'm not qualified to give. A student came to class, handed in her work, done, and then broke down crying. And I had to say, well, what's going on with this? And then it came out that she slept in a doorway the night before because she had been put out of her house the day before. But that's the level of commitment to education and the level of understanding the value of their education that we see. Students who, despite these tremendous obstacles, are doing what they can to stay in the game.
And I noticed you have a really good rapport.
By the way, these were like actual basketball shoes. When I was in junior high, this is like what I played basketball in. I mean, I guess, you just have to try to have fun. I mean, I do this, 3 times a day, multiple times a week, and so do they. And we're talking about comma splices. It's not the most scintillating of subjects for any of us really all the time. What goes wrong when you're using semicolons? In particular, if you're the Redskins, because they did a lot of this. If you can have some fun but get it shut off when it's time to get serious, the semicolon is like the punt of the grammar world. It's like you're out of ideas. Then it helps all of us get through a class on comma splices, for example. You may no longer use semicolons anymore in this class until I tell you you can. You are forbidden from using semicolons. No semicolons for you.
Talk a little bit about your award and how you felt when you found out you won Maryland Professor of the Year. That's a huge honor.
The most important answer I can come up with is because of a wonderful student named Laura who wrote me a letter of recommendation. What I'm proud about in that is that it was a really well-written letter, and this is one of my former EN002 developmental writing students.
What other points of satisfaction do you have coming out of a class like this?
There's a student in this class today who has had my class before, but was not successful in my class. I'm proud and satisfied that he wants it enough and trusts me enough to try it again, even though he was not successful in my class last time. Seeing students persist is one of the biggest satisfactions that I get out of it.
And so 10 years you've been here at Montgomery College. Is this your home?
Oh yeah, this is definitely my home. I feel that I am with my people here, and my people being the students and the staff and the faculty and the administration, and so many of us feel that way about Montgomery College and about the Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus in particular. We've found our niche and our place to be, and so this is what we do every day, all the time.
Every day here in Montgomery County, thousands of people wake up, go to work, drop their kids off at school, and enjoy leisure time with family and friends. However, when the unexpected disaster happens, people suddenly realize how fragile life is. The Community Emergency Response Team is a volunteer program that trains citizens to be better prepared in case of emergencies in their community.
We train people.
I'm ready.
We embed people in their homes,
And I'm ready.
their families, their neighborhoods, their workplaces, with the basic skills to respond to disasters large or small.
We're ready. How about you?
We also have a team of deployable, trained individuals who serve as a second response team here in Montgomery County.
Training to become a member of CERT happens about 5 times a year. So far, there are more than 1,000 individuals who have completed basic training since the program began in 2003. St. James says anyone who lives in Montgomery County and is over the age of 16 can become a member of CERT.
1 million people in Montgomery County, less than 1% of us are the first responders. That's police, fire, EMS, those of us, I like to call it, with shiny hats and shiny lights on our cars. So that's less than 1% for the other 99%. And when things get busy, derecho, hurricane, earthquake, all those things we get here, who do you want to rely on to take care of yourself and your family? A little bit of training, a little bit of preparation, you can be part of that solution.
10 years now, volunteers have stepped forward to help our public safety agencies, to help the Fire and Rescue Service in their efforts to protect the public, and we have tremendous talent in this county. I heard about some of the things that the CERT volunteers have done when I went to their anniversary celebration a couple months ago, and it's truly impressive. We have people that bring great expertise in engineering or medicine or other fields to these positions.
We take somebody from any baseline, wherever you're starting, I don't care if you don't know the sticky side of a Band-Aid, we'll walk you through training that covers everything from CPR, AED, how to use a fire extinguisher for small fires, how to triage more than one victim if there's a mass casualty incident. We walk through how to use radios, National Incident Management System. We give you some practical hands-on training where we moulage, which is to put makeup on mock victims so you get some desensitization to what it might be like.
Community emergency response teams have become increasingly popular across the country. The concept was started back in 1985 by the Los Angeles City Fire Department. Today, there are over 2,200 registered CERT programs. Here in Montgomery County, team members are not only on the ground providing assistance, they are in constant contact on a virtual basis as well.
We just ask our members, just take advantage of that technology you have readily available from the confines of your house, snap the picture and send it to us, and we'll consolidate that information into a report that's made available.
The Montgomery County team has not only assisted with events here locally, they have also taken their training on the road. In 2010, a group of CERT members visited Haiti to conduct community-based disaster preparedness. And for those folks who think they might like a taste of what it would be like to be a member of CERT, the organization is offering an event that could be key in that decision, Storm Camp,
which is a half-day event designed for whole families. It can be mom, dad, boys, girls, everybody, bring them all. And we're going to walk you through the basics of disaster preparedness and some of the skill sets you need to be ready for disasters, large or small. And then if somebody attends our storm camp and says, boy, this is great, I want more, please sign up for a CPR class with us. Sign up for the basic CERT class. Go on to the Red Cross or join Fire Rescue or do whatever you want to do. But at least come, give us 3.5 or so hours and we'll get you started.
Well, that does it for this edition of The Bottom Line. We leave you this week with our Montgomery moment, scenes from Cabin John Regional Park. I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.